even in the actor, actress category, I don't like the word actress. I don't use it. I call myself an actor. And Kinley, because you're not a doctress or a dentrist, it drives me crazy. And Kinley refers to herself as an actor too. So we gender everything. We want to nail it down in some bizarre. And my friend Marta, who is from Hungary, said when I told her Kinley came out, and she said, "Oh, ugh." And I said, "What?" And she said, "We don't have male and female. We don't, like in French, of course, it's very feminine, masculine." She said, "She is eux." And I said, "Well, she defines herself as female." So, but I thought, yeah, and I started to look that up and see how many countries don't, by definition, obsess on the masculine, feminine, but certainly North Americans do, and other countries too.
Yeah. Yeah, that's something that I think about a lot. On the one hand, I feel like often in queer communities, we'll talk about, gender's a construct, it's all made up, it's all a performance. And on the other hand, it's built into the culture, it's built into the language as English speakers to an extent. Certainly, if you speak French, it's built right in there. Many, many Romance languages, it's built in. On the other hand, you have lots of languages that aren't gendered. Like you were saying, your friend mentioned that in Hungarian. I know Tagalog doesn't have gendered pronouns at all. But everybody has an experience of gender, really, unless they're agender. And I think that's really interesting. And, one of the questions that we have on our list is talk about allyship. And I know we've talked a lot about representation, a lot about normalization, a lot about spreading the word within the industry and pushing for this kind of change. One thing that I think, and I'd be really curious to put this question to everybody on the call, is that we can all talk about our experience of gender, whether we're cis, whether we're trans, whether we have a binary gender identity or a non-binary gender identity. But nearly everybody, unless they're agender, have some experience of gender, what it feels like in them. And we all do things that are gender affirming, and we can feel gender euphoria. And I wonder if maybe you could all think about that in yourselves, like what is a time or what's an action you have taken, whether that's internal, external, presentation, whether it's a surgery, a hormone, an outfit, a haircut, whatever, that has felt gender affirming for you. And what does gender euphoria feel like? Because my true belief is that the more we talk about this outside of queer and trans communities, the more we normalize the idea that everybody's experience of gender is fluid and is reinforced by things both inside and outside of ourselves. So maybe, Maddie, I'll put that to you while I let the others think about that.
Oh, no. Okay.
No pressure, but so much pressure.
No pressure, but so much pressure. Yeah, okay, let's go with this shirt right here. I'm gonna see if I can adjust my screen and not show all of the mess in the background. Okay, let's see if I can.
It's raining them.
Yes. So this shirt came about. Do we know G-Flip? Do you know G-Flip?
Yes. Yes.
The singer, drummer, very gay. And I actually don't know their pronouns at the moment, so I'm going to use they, them at the moment. But they have this cover of It's Raining Men. And instead of singing It's Raining Men, they sing It's Raining Them. And I came across this song. I mashed it up with another song. I'm a bit of a cabaret performer. I performed at Pride this year, and I got to perform with this shirt. I don't know if they coined this phrase or the saying, or if they coined this song. I don't believe they do. I think there's other iterations, but G-Flip is where I came across it. So I got to perform at Pride this year with this shirt and with, I am a burlesque performer, so I got to have my burlesque sketch on underneath. And for the first time in 10 years almost of performing as a burlesque performer, all of my pasties, of which there were 4, I will let you imagine where all 4 were. There were 4. Every single one of them went bing, 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 bing.
Wow.
No.
It was, yeah. And thankfully, for anyone who, I don't want to go on a rant here, so please feel free to stop me if I start to, but there are blue laws in Canada as well. There are laws about what parts of your body can be exposed in public and what can't. Thankfully in Toronto, those laws don't include, are quite liberal. They're quite open. If you go elsewhere, they are not, and that can be even to like drive an hour in other directions, and they can be very different. So you have to be very conscious of these laws. Thankfully, in that moment, I didn't have to be conscious of those laws. But in that moment of getting to perform in front of all of these people and not care, because I was in such a queer space, about all of my costume bits going wrong, and getting to wear this shirt was very gender euphoric for me.
I
Lovely.
love that.
Love
I
that.
love that.
Wonderful.
I want to turn it over to a cis person and see what your experience of gender has been. Colin.
Oh, am I?
Hello,
It's
Colin.
me?
Well, I don't want to make assumptions.
No,
I
no.
shouldn't.
I appreciate that, Asher. Yeah, I'm cis, and as a cis white male, it's not something you actually think about
Exactly.
because life is set up for you. This is going to be a weird example. It's probably a horrible one. But when Deb was giving birth to Kinley, she was like in her 23rd hour of labor and pushing. And I looked at her and I said, I would love to say, if I could, I would change places with you, but I would not, because I could not do what you are doing right now. This is amazing. And I am thanking God that I am a man, because I couldn't do it. I would be the worst woman ever. What are you laughing at? You know this is true.
Big head. What's big head laughing at?
That's right. Her head was gigantic. So
Sorry.
there are moments, and these are moments that make me feel guilty, where I go, oh, I'm glad I'm a man because I don't have to go through this, being judged about this. And that's the worst way to feel good about your gender, I think. Looking at it that I don't have to go through the bad things. When I am feeling, well, I don't even know if it's a masculine, but when I'm with Deb and Kinley and we're doing things as a family, I don't know if it's feeling good that I am a man, because I'm certainly not the master of the house. If you know Deb, that's not happened. It's no, let's laugh together. But I think when I feel good about the newer definition of what it is to be a man. It's not all about being in charge. It's not about being the strong one. It's being part of the community, having empathy, being the good things that being a man could be. That's when I feel, when I do something that I feel goes against the typical idea of what a man is, that's when I feel good about who I am. I hope that helps or even makes sense. But I'm telling you, as I looked into my wife's face, I thought, I so wish I could give her words of support right now, instead of thinking about how horrible I'd be at this.
Friends, I'm going to take a quick pause. I have to leave the call now to go back to rehearsal. Thank you so, so much for letting me be a
Bless
part of it.
you.
I'll say I know an early piece for me before I had officially come out as trans, because there was a period where I was living as a because I was out as queer at this point. I was out as bisexual, and I was experimenting with gender presentation. So I was kind of living as like a gender non-conforming man. And I had gotten, I was wearing, different outfits, sort of mixing and matching masculine and feminine presentation. But I would go to often Value Village to buy whatever like clip-on earrings they had. And I got really tired of that fast, because A, they hurt, and B, the selection's not very good. And so I was like, an early piece for me that felt gender affirming at a time when I wasn't even out as my gender was getting my ears pierced. I don't think I quite anticipated just how good it would feel. And I'm someone who I took them out today because you couldn't really read them with the blurred background. But I love a statement earring. I love wearing like big earrings. I don't know what it is. It just it's funny because the point about like gender euphoria or like gender affirming, because it's not even necessarily that like it makes me feel feminine, it just makes me feel like me. But I think that's probably like kind of the point, and I think what people are ultimately getting at when they're talking about gender euphoria. And so yeah, that was a nice like early piece before I had really like sorted everything out. I still knew enough to know this is something I want to have done. And it went a long way before the point where I finally arrived to realizing that I was a woman. So yeah.
I can go next. I loved what you said about like that it was something that just made you feel like you, because I feel like that is very similar to how I felt with my example. So my mom, she has a thing where it's like, okay, like you need to keep your hair long. And it always bothered me because I found it very like hard to like manage, and it just didn't feel like me. And so I grew up in Calgary, and when I moved to Toronto for a while, I did like keep my long hair because I'd go back and like visit often. And then at a certain point, I was like, I just want to chop it off. Like I just want to like, really just like make it short. And when I did that, it just felt so like freeing. I was just like, wow, like this, I can't believe I like didn't do this for so long because I was worried about what my mom would say and all of this. And once I did it, I was like, oh yeah, there's no going back. I have a haircut tomorrow, so it's gonna come back up. So yeah, so haircuts honestly like are one of my favorite things. And now I get them regularly. I didn't previously because I was just so annoyed with the process, but it makes me feel like me.
Nice.
Deb, do you have
I'll-
any that you want to share? If not, that's cool too.
Sure. No. First of all, I'll say to Colin, the most perfect example of manhood I have seen from you is how you acted when Kinley said she was a woman. That was when you showed what a cis man can be like in the
Thanks.
support. And Kinley, you know how I feel about you. Nothing to say because I'll start to cry. I was going to say I'm lucky because I've always been comfortable in my skin. But I don't know that that's lucky. I think we have to stop looking at this as an arduous journey. I think we have to start going, I've realized I'm a woman. I've realized I'm gender nonconforming. I'm gender. I think we have to look at that as a spark of joy, like a rocket going to the moon, and it drops one of its rockety things, and then it goes forward as a different thing. Because we've always looked at it like a ball and chain, like, oh, now I have to do this, now I have to say that, instead of being a glorious thing. But I guess for me, I was lucky because I've always loved being a girl. Oh my God in heaven. I've owned it, I've used it, I've abused it. But
You're very good at it.
Pardon me?
You're very good at it.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
But I will say that it even a cis woman, doesn't come without struggles, with abuse, with, my heart aches. My last anger at what women go through was the dismissal of the charges at the hockey. But I will say that I've been lucky that I never struggled with my identity. I have struggled with what cis women. I was born in 1954. So I did have to do, with a group of women, fight for women's rights to wear pants in the middle of friggin' winter. That was a thing. that we had to wear skirts or dresses, and all the other stuff that went around with being a kid of the 50s and 60s, and the abuse and what was okay in ways to treat women. But I've never wanted to be anything else. And people, oh, men have it so easy. Wouldn't want to be a man if you paid me. No offense. But
I'm fine with it.
I never envied. I just thought, you are who you are, you love who you are, fight for the rights to be who you are.
On the topic of the ACTRA Awards, the ACTRA Awards in Toronto celebrate, applaud outstanding performances, achievements, artistic accomplishments, contributions of union performers. So what does being a member of a professional performers union mean to you? And why is it important to honor union performers?
I can get started. So for me, I still remember when I got my first actor contract and became an actor apprentice, and it was like, it just felt like, oh, I'm on that journey to becoming a professional, and when I got my full membership, again, I had that same feeling. So not only is it such a great recognition of like, oh yeah, like I am a professional and I deserve to be treated like a professional, I deserve to be paid like a professional, but I think there's so many like hard won like union protections that ACTRA has for its membership, that it's just when I am on an ACTRA set now, it's like, oh, I know I'm in good hands. I'm protected. I'm like, like I have my meal breaks, there's gonna be like overtime. It's all of that. And so for me, it's just I just love being an actor. It's great on so many different levels. So yeah.
I can relate to what Rabiya just said, because I was in theater school for 4 years at Ryerson. And I know it's not Ryerson anymore, but I think it's politically okay to say it if it was then. So it was Ryerson. And so we were students of acting. So when I got out and got my ACTRA card, I was a real actor. In my mind, oh, you're an actor. Oh, she's just doing me. No, I'm an actor. Here's my ACTRA card. And equity card, of course. And that meant something. And in an industry where there's so much struggling and so much unemployment, in a funny way, work doesn't unite us, but being actors unites us.
When you become a union member, it just sort of solidifies that your craft has value, that all those years of putting in the work, either rehearsing or writing or whatever, being a part of a union that does protect you and looks after you and gives a voice to those who might not be heard. It's wonderful. You're part of a community, and we know, the average. If you ask people, what do you think an actor's life is? They all think we go in, we work a couple of hours, we get millions of dollars thrown at us, and then we go home to our pool. It's like, nothing irritates me more than people thinking everyone who's an actor is rich, and it's like, it makes no sense. But what I love it, we have this community. We're all together. We honor our performers with these awards. These people who have brought these stories to life, stories about humanity, about the human condition, about whatever is going on in the world, and the hours of work that we know has gone behind that. We all know how hard it is to get any kind of a project out there, never mind having it finished and being seen by people. So I think it's great to award hard work that way, because everyone's against us. Nobody knows what we do.
Well said.
Yeah, I think everything's been pretty much said. I do want to echo what Rabiya was saying about just the feeling that you don't have to sort of fend for yourself, that there's a team and a community behind you that is able to actually like set standards and regulations in place to ensure your safety and that you're being treated fairly. Um, because I think we all know, perhaps before you were a union actor, hell, maybe even after, sometimes on sets there are shenanigans that are pulled, and so knowing that you are being protected, I mean, it's a weight lifted off you this thought just occurred to me. I'm like, oh yeah, roll with that. That this weight's lifted off you that then even makes it easier for you to then like focus on the job that you're there to do, rather than having to worry about all these factors like, oh, is this going to happen for me? It's like, no, I have this force behind me that I can just focus on the craft and doing the best job that I was brought here to do.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I echo that. That's when I first joined the union, Deb, much like you, I took my degree and I went, I have a degree, I would like a union card, please.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's how I got my first credit, which is still a thing that exists, and we love that program. So if you are a graduate, go get your union card with your diploma or degree. But the reason I did was because acting and the film industry can be so the Wild West sometimes. Truly anybody can pick up a camera or a phone these days and start filming something and call it a film. And there's something so incredibly beautiful about that and so incredibly accessible about that. There's also something so scary about that on the other side of that same coin, in that it sometimes you can walk onto set and someone can just say, yeah, do this now. And it's like, whoa, I didn't agree to that. That's not. And it's so nice to be able to have someone that you can call and say, hey, I don't know about this. Can you help me? Can you come to set? You can literally like anonymously call someone to set and say, this feels weird. Can you check on it for me? And they will. And there's something really great about having a sort of HR team in an industry that doesn't have a lot of HR, sort of a thing. So that's, yeah, I think they offer a lot of protections and also fight a lot for us to get better wages and to get those breaks and to protect minors and have rules in an industry that otherwise could very easily not have any rules. We do have some questions here as well, and I'm just taking a look at them, and there is one that I think is sort of a really lovely one to end on, to sort of, I don't know, round this out. And it says, do you have any advice for performers, specifically performers from marginalized communities who are getting started in the industry?
Most definitely. It's the advice I always give. If you can, write and produce your own material, get it out there, keep doing it, get a group together, if you know any allies who can help you. I mean, we did Junior's Giant, which I wrote, and I wrote the character for Kinley because it was based on our real life and my father, her grandfather. But I said, that's it. I will never write a gay, queer, non-binary, gender non-conforming story. That is not my place to do it. But this was our real life, so I could do it. But I say to people and we invested our own money because we wanted to tell the story, but get your stuff out there. Keep doing it and trying to break down those barriers, talking to your agent, being vocal about it, pushing the envelope. I know Joe Vanicola, I mean, they have pushed to the point of exhaustion because for a long time, they were doing it on their own. They were the voice and gathering. I think we have to be many voices and keep showing who we are. And even if you're doing it on a shoestring budget, you've got to keep, and it's good and it wins awards and more. And then someone wants to invest in a feature, etc. And it's harder in Canada. Let's be honest. I mean, we've lost the Harold Greenberg Fund God bless him and keep him. That was gone, and now it's hard to get anything done and put it on stage and find small spaces, big spaces, any space. That's the advice I would give. Do it. Keep doing it. Because, especially in this country, it's the only way to get it out there. And if somebody sees that it's got potential financially, I don't mean to sound cynical. I'm not a cynical person by nature, but it's got to be financially viable for a lot of these folks with production companies. So, for example, you won that award. Yes, it can be financially viable. And that to me is what moves the wheel, is that they see potential in it. That may be cynical advice, but it's advice.
Yeah, I say, like Deb said, just keep doing it. Also, keep learning your craft, keep taking classes, say yes to things that may be a little outside your comfort zone, because you can find out a lot about yourself by putting yourself in those positions, by going, this is an area I'm not quite sure if I'm on solid ground. And then you'll find I can do this. And I've as an improviser and the people I work, find your people, your community, the people who push you, the people who inspire you. And I work with, these are the people, this is something Deb and I have talked about, that as we get, let's say, more mature instead of older, we're constantly working, when we come up with projects, it's with people that we like. It's with people we know who they are, we know what they can do, but we also know that they're lovely people and this is going to be a great experience. Because I find that's when the best work happens, when everybody is going 110%, even though there may be no money. These passion projects, I always find, are the ones to work on because everybody is pulling together, holding each other up, working with a way to get around the obstacles of no budget or whatever it is, and usually going above and beyond. And that's exciting. That's that makes people want to work with you more, I think, and when they see how inspired you can get with nothing.
Yeah. And Rabiya, what I loved about your project that I saw, because I was on the committee to choose best male performance, but we saw a lot of stuff, is that it is past time for gender non-binary, gender non-conforming to be thrilled to be that character in the straight production. That's got to go. Because, we'll have the tech person play no. And the beauty is when you see a production that everybody is. That's the world. You don't have to vie for that one. We hope for a day where you're not vying for that one person, or that one person is not defined by how they identify. They're just the person who runs the company, or the mother, or the father, or the something of something that isn't about who they are and how that actor lives their life.
Yeah, I would echo so much of the advice that you both, Colin and Debra, have given. Like, I'm just vigorously nodding my head as both of you were speaking. What maybe I'll add is the biggest piece of advice I would give is about mindset, because I think sometimes it can be hard as an actor to be relying on other people saying yes, and feeling like your value or your ability to even call yourself an actor is based on someone else's yes. And so I think for me, it's just reminding people that it's like, even if you haven't booked, even if you haven't been paid to be an actor in a while, like, you're still an actor as long as you're working on your craft. You want to do this. You're maybe memorizing monologues on your own, or you're getting together with friends and you're working on that craft. Like, you are an actor, and it's such a lifelong, like, journey. It's not, oh, you make one thing and it's over. It's like you continuously work on it. You
continuously invest in yourself and invest in the process, and just remember it's a marathon, not a sprint. And so don't give up so quickly if it doesn't happen for you as quickly as you hoped it would, because yeah, we're in it for the love of the craft at the end of the day. Yeah, that's what I'd add.
Right. It's great.
Kinley, do you have anything you would like to add?
I wish I could add something, but everything has been said really well. Especially Dad, what you were saying is what I came in here thinking, but you covered it. So good for all of you for having such good answers. Thank you. Madelaine, did you have anything?
Yeah, my last little bit to echo Colin about find your people, particularly if you are from a marginalized community. Find your people. Join, if you're part of ACTRA, join out ACTRA, join the gender diversity subcommittee, join the diversity and inclusion committee, join the Actors with Accents. There's so many committees and groups within ACTRA and outside of. So find your people, because especially for folks from marginalized communities, this industry, it wasn't built for us. There are fewer parts for us there. So find the people who are going to want to make those roles for you and with you and help produce your work, and you produce theirs, and find your people. And once you have found your people, advocate, become part of the solution. There are so many ways, again, within ACTRA, but also outside of, to continue helping to advocate and being part of the solution, like pushing forward these new awards, like becoming a chair or a co-chair of a committee, if that's if you feel you have the capacity and the brain power, and that's how you work. There are so many ways to get involved, which is really awesome. But yeah, that's me. That's my advice.
And then eventually the industry will be made for you.
Yes.
That's what we're striving toward.
Yeah.
No, just thank you for this. This was great to celebrate Rabiya, to have these discussions. It was great. And, you know, is she like asleep or her eyes
Nope.
open?
She was looking asleep. She was dozy.
I think we're losing focus.
I know.
Again, for those listening and not watching, we are talking about the dog again.
Oh God, I forgot about that. Yeah, just keep forward moving. And I would say aggressive forward movement. We can't sit idly by. We have to, you know, make the argument with people in a constructive way. We have to open the doors. I say to so many people, I wouldn't have missed living at this time. It's just been not just a wake-up call, but it's just opened the world in such a glorious way. And sad to those who don't see it that way, because they're missing an opportunity to be human and act in a humane way.
I'd just like to say to allies, keep listening and learning. You know, education's an ongoing process. It's not a one-time thing. We can still keep listening and learning. Also, everyone's hair looked really good.
Thank God.
Yeah, I just wanted to say that I loved this conversation like so much. Like, it's such a pleasure to talk to all of you wonderful folks, and just to hopefully keep moving forward and see what the industry can become in the next years. And yeah. So thank you all.
Thank you.
You.